Greetings and salutations, my fellow heathens. This is Laz. This is the Fright Club, your one-stop shop for all things horror. And as I always say, if you're coming on back, welcome back, welcome home. But also, if you're a first-time watcher, awesome. I love it. I love getting new faces here. And speaking of new faces, or anyone who's watching, according to my YouTube analytics things, I have more viewers than I have subscribers. Which, why? You know, if I always say, if you like what you're watching, hit like. And of course, now if you don't want to miss anything, you don't want to miss a new episode of the Fright Club, subscribe. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. And after you hit subscribe, you hit that bell notification so you get told, well, when new things come up. But also, if you really like this stuff, you really like what I'm doing, and you're able to support the channel, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/the Fright Club. I'll leave a link down in the description. That right there, you would be able to get your episodes not 1 but 2 days early for only $3. I'm sorry, that to me that's amazing. Now with all that out of the way, let's get to what we're talking about today. Today I'm going to talk about a movie called All Hallows Eve, Inferno. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the All Hallows Eve series, the first All Hallows Eve movie was a three-story movie. All the movies are anthologies. It has 3 stories in it, but it's best well known for the fact that that's the first movie that people saw Arthur Crown in. And we all know where Arthur Crown went. He's on, the slasher villain of fame. But that was his first movie, and each movie was kind of connected to him. This is the 4th movie, I think, in the series. I don't know. I saw this. I was, oh, all right, cool. I'll watch this. Then I saw later on that there's a 3rd movie out there. I'm like, oops, I have to watch that next, don't I? But this movie is basically the wraparound story is we see a lady get hit by a car, and she winds up in a hospital, and she's told by the nurse that she can't move or scream, and she gets pushed down in a gurney or whatever, and she winds up in a room with an evil clown, and then she screams, which is confusing because I'm like, you can't talk, how can you scream? Oh well. Anyway, that starts us with the first movie. And the plot of this one is basically, you got a guy, he's driving around, and he hits something. He doesn't quite know what it is. He gets outside, look at it, whatever it is gone. And somewhere or other, he starts running from something, and he winds up in like an alleyway in like a bad city. And then he gets attacked by a really bad CGI monster. He wakes up, it's a dream. And he winds up online and he sees a ad for a sleep study group. And they basically say, we can help you get rid of your bad dreams. So he signs up, goes in, and while there, they tell him that they have a way to do it. So he can beat his bad dreams. But he'd be the first human test subject. And he says, no thank you. But then he goes home, has another dream, and has another nightmare, and comes right on back. And like the 2 doctors or nurses, I don't know what the hell they are, they don't give us a title. One's a younger dude, one's an older dude. And they convince the guy, all right, come on in, and so he falls asleep, and they give him the shot of the nightmare killer. They basically say what it does is it makes you able to dream lucid dreams. So you can control your dream and get rid of the nightmare. They give it to him, he falls asleep, starts dreaming, and the dream is being attacked by the demon, and he can't get rid of it. No, he gets rid of it first, sorry. But then he can't get rid of it again, and in our real world, he's dying. And they do tell you that the Nightmare on Elm Street rules apply. So if you die in a dream, you die in real life. So they give him another shot. Well, the old man's like, we can't do that. And he's like, we can't do that. It might kill him. He's going to die anyways. They give it to him. And he destroys the demon. Hooray. And then the ending happens. As always, I want to be vague about these things because, if you want to watch the movie, jump on in. And And all in all, I thought this was a pretty good segment. I thought it was like a B minus. Um, it was okay, a little long. And as I always say, once you put together, like once you figure out where things are going, you kind of just want them to get there. uh, and that's just me. And also, so the second story, which is my favorite story of the entire movie, uh, a lady is driving in the desert. Well, she's driving like on the road, and she's being harassed by a bunch of teenagers, and she winds up turning in the desert. She gets out and she pulls out a tripod and attaches I think it was a tablet to it. Could have been her phone. I don't know, but I think it's a tablet. Um, and then she opens her trunk. You can see a dude in her trunk. And he's all beaten to hell. And she gives him she gives him a phone, like a flip phone, and a warning, like a letter that says, answer dial, call this number, say hello, and that's it, or I'll kill you, basically. So he does, and it turns out what he's calling into is a service they have in phones um where the deaf can do sign language, and then the person will translate it into the phone call. And this is where we find out that Our Lady's deaf. And this whole sequence is really cool, very, very, very tense. So and then we find out throughout the dialogue that the dude in her trunk is her father, and that he was an abusive man, and I'm going to try to get this line right, that he beat the woman who can hear out of the woman. And our main lady is she's signing very angrily, whatever. And the only thing about this sequence I don't understand is, as she's building up an intensity and saying that he's not her dad anymore. She has a new father, who I believe is God. She calls him a higher power, and he's a very vengeful father. And she's like, "Oh no, he would want me to forgive you, but that's not happening." And she's going on. Her dad is screaming into the phone, saying, "Help me, help me! She's going to kill me." And the lady on the end, who's translating for the deaf lady, she does nothing. Like, has no no reaction, no anything. I'm like, to go, wait. So it's either she's in on this, or like her and the deaf lady are friends or something. I don't know. It was one of those things where I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Uh, and it's not like the lady who's doing the translating is deaf. She's not. Um, so I just couldn't figure out why either she couldn't hear him or she ignored him. It's one or the other. I'm sure it's an easy answer. It just made me go, what? But so the lady, again, the deaf lady's just going on and on. And then she goes to get her vengeance. I'll stop it here because it's good. Uh, is it really gory or anything? Unfortunately, no, but it's good. It's good vengeance. And this segment I enjoyed it. I give the segment an A. I really enjoyed this. I thought the pacing was well done. I thought the acting was really well done. Like everything about it worked, except for the uh, the translating lady not helping out the dad or whatever. That kind of just made me go, huh? And the ending made me go, huh? Because after she does what she does, Our Lady runs into the desert with no. I'm sitting there going, you have no water, you have no nothing. You're not gonna. You're gonna die. Why? Why? Why not just use your car? So we throw dad out of the way. Throw dad in the desert. But it was very small. It was a very small nitpick, nitpick. That's that word. There's small little details that that don't really bother. It doesn't bother me enough for me. Like so where I'm not gonna hate this movie or sequence. And yes, kids. Once again, I have my other phone here because I have a lot of notes. And all right, we're starting the next one. Okay. Okay. Now we do get more of the scary hospital. Uh, our lady is now in a wheelchair, and she's pushed into a room with a dude with a pumpkin head. And I don't need the movie Pumpkinhead. I mean actual jack o' lantern on his head. And then she's put in there. She's put in front of a TV that turns on by itself. Okay. The next segment is we get some Japanese kanji that tell us about a tradition where after dinner you throw pebbles to ward off demons. They tell you about different demons. I don't write any of this down. uh, I figured I could just, you know, sort of guess. Um, and you see a family, a mom, a dad, and a young daughter. They're eating dinner. Daughter isn't finishing her dinner. She doesn't want it. Doesn't want to. And mom's like, lady, finish your dinner. What the hell's wrong with you? And she said, no, I'm not hungry. Whatever. And then she was like, if you don't do that, I won't let you throw the pebbles. And she was like, I don't want to throw pebbles. I've never seen a demon. So they don't exist. And at one point, the mom tells her about this class of demon that's always hungry. They'll come into your house, eat your food, whatever, and you have to keep feeding it. And the daughter's like, "Oh, that sounds bad." You said, "Oh, the demon will be cold. You should come in." And mom, you don't invite demons in our house. Yeah. Um, and the girl gets sent to her room. While she's asleep, she wakes up and she decides to lure the demon into her room. She leaves out some food, and it works. The food keeps getting eaten, so the girl starts cooking stuff. And then finally, she looks up and she sees the demon. The demon is like this tall, slender woman. Looks kind of like her mom, as I think about it. Well, not exactly, but a little bit here and there. And the demon's like, more, feed me more. And the daughter's like, I don't have any more. Like I don't know what else to cook. And the demon looks at her and growls. Then you get to the ending. Again, I'm going to keep it there because I don't want to spoil the ending. And the ending of this one's really good too. It's my second favorite story in this movie. It's well done. The girl isn't annoying, which is a plus, a big plus in my book. I can't stand children, especially movies. But again, everything works. Your tension builds pretty well. And again, the ending is kind of obvious. Um, for me, anyway. But to me, it was an obvious ending, but it was really well done. And and I really enjoyed it. So again, I give this one an A minus, right in the A's. Really, really well done. And the next one is I don't know, my phone keeps turning off here. Okay, and this is where everything starts going downhill. you you get a story about a girl whose mom was such a good cook that demons would come back because they craved her food. And I really am, shortening this because I'm sure there's more to it than that. But this is just what I remember. Um, and then her mom passed her gift on to the girl who's now a woman, and the woman's all like, and it's a curse. And the whole story is she's in this really high end restaurant where she gets freaking like a really high end chef who's the attraction towards everything. And this guy is a grade A douchebag. Like he does nothing but yell and berate our main character. And also, it's kind of sort of hinted that he's nailing the only other waitress in the movie. Um, and like, throughout the movie, we start getting glimpses of ghosts, kind of. You see like mirrors and doors freeze over, and you take a handprint. Uh, but nothing happens. Like really, that's it. And then the girl's shift is done, and she's going to leave, and then she hears demons, and she's okay. I'll start cooking, and that was it. I'm like, really? What? Because I'm thinking, okay, now horror fans, me and you, all right. You're watching anything, any kind of movie, TV show, whatever, and you get three characters. You get your main chick, you get the chef's side piece, and the chef himself. Now the side piece she's a good chick. Like she's not mean or snooty or anything. But you get the grade A douchebag out of the chef. Aren't those two supposed to get killed somehow, or at least something bad happens to them? Usually that's the way it works. This one, no, it doesn't. And I know I spoiled everything, but it was like there's nothing here. There's no surprise. It's just here. And this one was just did not enjoy it at all, especially after the last one. This one gets like a D plus. It nothing happens. I don't care about anybody in the movie, and there's no comeuppance. There's no hey, this guy was a douchebag, so he needs to get taken out. Which that's usually how this works. In this, no, it was just like bye. So, um, all right, okay, okay. We got okay. The next one, we'll get with the rest of our wraparound segment. No, not rest of it, another wraparound segment where our lady is wheeled into an elevator, which is meant to go down, and it goes, and you see it going down to like negative floor number. So I'm like, that don't work. And now the last segment in this movie, are you see four people, two dudes and two chicks. They're in a room, and they have to fight off people, whether or not they're like bad people, whatever. I don't know. And of course, our main chick is able to kick the shit out of a guy who's like twice her size. And then now they're in a room with a monster or a demon that's sitting in a chair, and it reacts to sound. And sitting like on the creature is wearing a necklace that has a key card on it, and they can see that the key card is um, the key to get into the next room. And things happen. And the main chick, she's like, oh, hi. She gets the key. She's the last woman standing. And you keep hearing a voice, like a computer voice saying, the lights are going to go out in 5 minutes or whatever. And then she gets in the next room, and you get the ending. This one was just very much another D. Like again, since they don't build up anybody, so I don't know who anybody is, so I really don't care. And again, it's one of those. Well, look, she's a lady, and of course she's black, so we got to make her ultra powerful, and whatever. And I'm like, yes, of course you do. And it was just one of those. All right, whatever. I give this one like a D minus. This was not good at all. It was better than the last one. I'll give it that, but it's still two stinkers back to back is not good. And especially in any anthology. And so now we get to the finish of our wraparound as the elevator's still going down, 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 down. I'm assuming it goes to hell. I'm guessing. Um, so the way this worked for me was the first three stories. The first story was pretty good. The two after that were amazing, and then the two after that were. They could have cut stuff here and there, but be it as it may, the movie is still enjoyable enough to watch, especially if you watch on Tubi because it's free. Until then, and wow, I went long. Oops, no. Until then, good kids though. Either way, till next time, catch you on the Fright Zone.